Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name's Beth, and I'm back doing your part 2 of Libra mid-October 2015 tarot horoscope. So, I was talking about the Five of Swords and how this could be you, but it also could be this Cancer Scorpio. Most likely, it's a Cancer or Scorpio that's in your life that's not good for you. This is not a good person to be engaged with right now. Okay, this may just be a person who is, fighting for some cause, or it could be someone who's fighting to kind of keep it together, or it could be someone who's just kind of struggling in their everyday life to survive. Okay, to just make it. And the thing that's crossing you is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is usually a student, but it doesn't always have to be, okay? It can be, because it's Pentacles, it's usually Taurus, Aries, or Capricorn. But to me, this represents like the whole student body, okay? Which could be any sign, any person. Like, my roommate got this card, So, or I shouldn't say he got this card. I should say, when I did the cards for him, this is what he got. Okay, so you could be a guy or a girl and be a student, and this could be you. Okay, not everybody's, those people that are not in school, this can indicate that are working, this can indicate a new job opportunity, or a raise, a promotion, something that's new. This is the beginning, the seed of potential. And I also say this is someone who can get pregnant very easily. And if you're a Libra guy, you may be in a relationship with this person, so you gotta glove up, be very careful, because she is the kind of person that usually has 4 or 5 or 6 kids. Okay, that's just how she is. She may be very plain and very simple. Libra ladies, this may be you. You may have between 3 to 6 kids. Okay, so you also have to watch out. So this is the card of fertility and pregnancy. Everybody else doesn't see it that way, but I do. I see it as fertility and pregnancy. And it's the seed of potential. It's the beginning of the new. So if it's a new relationship, this has a lot of promise, okay? If this is a new job, this is a new beginning. This is something new, okay? This is also wanting comfort and stability. This is wanting to have, again, you may have been in survival mode for a long time, and you're dreaming of at least, getting a little bit ahead, maybe financially, maybe just feeling like, getting ahead in your career, whatever it is. That's kind of like, maybe you feel like, to me, because these are two very different energies, maybe there's been some kind of stop and go, kind of thing happening in your life. Maybe it feels very like you try to get ahead, and then for whatever reason you get a little bit behind. And you may have some Capricorn in your chart, because this is very strong Capricorn thing where it's like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and this is that energy right now. So the end of October, or should I say mid to end of October, is a time where you may feel like it's a little bit of a struggle to get ahead. You may get a little bit ahead, and there may be something really great that happens, but then you also just still feel, for some reason in your head, it may just be in your head, Libra, that you're behind, okay? And you may have this from childhood. You may have this somehow ingrained in your head that it's never going to be enough, that you can never have enough money, that you can never be stable enough, that you can never be in a higher position enough, so it's really going to depend on your situation, but I feel very strongly that if you're in a relationship, this could be you getting pregnant, okay, guys and girls, okay? For those of you who are not, you're past that age and you're like older, this may be, your wife who wants comfort, who's dreaming of comfort and stability. For whatever reason, she may be a little bit materialistic, okay? you may always be feeling like you're just struggling to make her happy. For those of you who are older. And in a relationship, who have been in a marriage situation or a long-term relationship, and you may be younger and still feeling like you're always struggling to make your partner happy, whether the guy or whether you're the girl, it doesn't matter. It's very interchangeable. There's this element of struggle. There's this element of stress of trying to make it in life and just surviving. But the thing is that you got to get out of the survival mode. You've got to stop. You have to believe that you have everything you could possibly want now, and you do, because ultimately you can't take anything with you when you die. All you take is your memories, and even then our memories get wiped when we come back. So really, there's really not much to cling on to. So, and if this is your partner, she definitely has a little bit of material beast inside of her. She likes to shop. She likes material things. She clings onto the things that she has. Maybe she hangs on to things for a really long time. It's going to be very difficult to please her, okay? I do feel like this could be a Libra Aries combination too, okay? Because Aries are very materialistic. Not in a negative way. It's not always in a negative way. Because I don't see the Page of Pentacles as being like, it's not like they're a bad person. It's just that they like new shoes and they like new pants and they like, a new scarf and a new hat and they need gloves and they need a new jacket. And it's always like they love new things and they love to spend money. And so they may be a little bit of a shopaholic. For those of you Libras who are, this could be you, Libra, who's got a little bit of shopaholic tendency, likes to spend money. And you could be a guy or a girl, okay? Definitely message me. Because shopaholics are like self-professed shopaholics. There's nothing bad with being a shopaholic. For a while, I was a shopaholic. I think everybody at some point goes through that material phase where you're just like, you just gotta have it. You just gotta have it all. When I lived in Chicago for 6 years. I shopped every single day. Every single day. Even when I was in school, I still went out and I shopped. I mean, it was just, I see a shop and I would go in. And I remember crying, actually. And my ascendant is in Capricorn, so this could also be, again, strong Capricorn vibe here for you. When I was a child, I don't know whether I was 6 or whether I was 8. I was somewhere in that early period, okay, where my family went on vacation. And we went to some park. I don't remember what it was. It might have been like some park that where there was a battle. Maybe it was in Gettysburg. I don't know where it was, okay? It was some park. And they had a gift shop, right? I didn't really care about the park. There wasn't anything there, too. It was like the middle of winter time. It wasn't like it was summer or even fall where you could imagine, like, look at the leaves, because I love looking at leaves. No, I mean, it was like winter time. I don't even know why we were there. There was nothing there. And there was this little gift shop. And I remember having a total nervous breakdown because my parents said that we couldn't go into the gift shop. And I was like, this is why I came. This is why we're here. This is the only reason. This is what we're living for. This little gift shop. And it looked so cute. It had all these really cool things in the windows. And I was just so sad that I couldn't go in there. And look. And I remember me as a child having a complete breakdown, crying my eyeballs out that I could not go into the gift shop. And at least look, So that was me as a little girl. So it was difficult to handle it. So I mean, I don't know. This is what kids look forward to. These are things kids look forward to. I mean, anything that's sparkly, that's glistening, shopping. It's just fun. I think it's my, your partner may just like glittery objects, and she may be blinged out to all get out. If you're a bling person, message me. I like to hear about it. Some people go over the top with bling, though. I mean, they can't have enough bling. More jewelry, the better. So this may be you. That likes a little bling. I think everybody does. But anyways, it's a crazy story. So on with your reading. I think the message here ultimately is, you have to, whether it's you or whether it's your partner that has this material thing, needs like the creature comforts, needs to kind of work on finding peace with the simple things, having peace of mind without needing to have it all. And that to me is the Capricorn challenge. But I think it's everybody's challenge. I think it's in our society. I mean, it's everybody's challenge to overcome this very materialistic approach to everything. This I've got to have it all, and yet and get to a spiritual place and just be okay and have a little peace, of mind. Um, and the outcome for you is peace of mind. Okay, so you're going to have peace of mind, and maybe you're wishing for more sleep. Maybe you're wishing for more peace of mind. Maybe you're wishing to like not be arguing. This is taking a break. This is R&R, because you got the Eight of Wands in the position of your attitude. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, this break, the Four of Swords, is gonna be much appreciated, much needed. I always feel like Libras are very much overworked, and they're always taking on other people's problems. They're always taking on more and more and more. Even if you're a guy, I feel like you, guys and girls, need to take a little break. Libras need to have that balance point in life. They can't be working too much, but they can't be playing too much. And it's a very difficult thing in our society, because our society sort of mandates, financially, for us, in order for us to financially survive, we have to work like 24/7, especially in the United States. I mean, everybody here that I know works or goes to school full time, and that's 40 hours a week, and that's a lot. It's a lot of time. So if you've been working a lot, Libra, you definitely need to take a day off, take a break. You need to find that balance point again. And my caution to you is because I don't like it when the Four of Swords is the outcome, okay? Because the Four of Swords usually is a much needed respite or rest, okay? That's what I was going to say. So, but if you don't, then most of the time you get sick. And because it's not because you, it's not like you're destined to get sick. It's just because you're resisting taking the much needed time to rest, and that's it. So I'm not going to say that everyone is going to get sick, that all Libras are going to get sick at the end of October. No, okay? I'm saying that if you don't take a rest, that you're predisposing yourself to getting sick, because your immune system's going to be low, okay? That's just kind of how it is. So it's funny, I had a client who emails me, and and that was in the cards for her, and I told her it, and then she emailed, said, yes, Elizabeth, I came down with the flu, da-da-da-da-da, and you were right. And so people always, people come back to me, and they always say these things, and so I'm just trying to kind of give you the heads up on taking better care of yourself, making sure you're getting your rest, making sure you're eating all your vitamins, you're juicing, doing all kinds of stuff to relax, make sure you have enough. And Libras need a lot of time to relax. Libras need the nap in the afternoon. Libras need things to remain calm. And, if Libras start to go crazy, where they're going from here to here to here to here to here, and they're like all going around the world, they're spinning around, they're going to start to spin out of control. And then eventually they're going to crash, because they get very wound up. Libras can get very, very wound up in their own energy, and it's sort of like some Libras have, like, it's almost like a nervous energy, but Libras are an air sign, so it's like this, go, 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 and they do naturally have a lot of energy, but the problem is that it's not in balance, and their shadow is that Aries, that fire, so sometimes they have a fire lit under their butt, and they can go and they can do a million things, but then ultimately they crash because they're not in balance. And in this life, they need to learn balance. So that's where I'm going with it. So don't get into that ADD, manic, going, and crashing. Try to get someplace in the middle where you are taking enough time for yourself, maybe taking enough time for your kids, reading a good book. It's definitely what you need to do, okay? And some of you do have kids. Maybe you're focused on your kids because you got the Six of Cups. For those of you who are single, this is a card about not worrying because you have money flowing into this fish. The money are flowing in. Some of you have pets because this is the card about kids and pets. specifically dogs. I usually see this card a lot with people who are dog lovers. So you may have a dog that you really, really love. And for those of you who do have kids, this is, being very focused on them. Very much like, okay, taking care of the meals and making sure they have, getting their baths and they're, going to school and just taking care of everybody. So I definitely feel that this is, but this is this is a good card to be in the position of emotions, okay? So some of you are just very focused on your kids, and that's good. But for some of you who are really worried and really stressed out because you have the Seven of Wands card here in the immediate future, maybe some of you are very stressed about your kids. Some of you, maybe your kids, are getting sick. This is where I would recommend, taking them to see a naturopath. I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of that. They don't see the naturopath enough. They just take them right to the doctor, and the doctor puts them on more antibiotics, and it's just doesn't make them healthier long term. So this is what I would probably suggest for you. I can also look at my health deck if you have, I do have like an herbal medicine deck, which is like alternative medicine, which I have done for several mothers, and I feel like they get a lot out of it. So I feel like they learn a lot. It's very predictive, and it's really, really accurate. So we have that, and what else? Whatever these. You have the Star card as a foundation, which means you're going through a little bit of a transition time, okay? So in October, if you feel like you're neither here nor there, you don't really know what's really going on, that's because you are, your experiences is more, you're just going through transition. You're not. I always tell people to imagine it's your frog. Instead of jumping from lily pad to lily pad, you actually jump into the water and you swim. And you're in between. You're in between one lily pad and the other, okay? So you're in between. And so because you have this Star card, you're not quite, it's that beach point where you're on land, but you're not quite in the water. You're on the edge. I'm making a lot of metaphors. I know. Anyways, so we got the Star card here, which is also, being blessed from heaven, heavenly gifts, having a lot of blessings. So despite the fact that you may feel, and some of you may be in hardship, like either financial hardship, or some of you may be just really struggling bad, you have the foundation as the star. So that means there's guidance for you, okay? There's deceased loved ones around you that are guiding you. There are, people around you that are guiding you, okay? And I have really gotten to notice that this to me is like a female figure. This is a female figure in your life that's a very strong light for you, okay? You may be this female figure because this, she's touching the air. So you may have a lot of light. And as soon as I started this video, actually, I was noticing it's getting a very strong, I feel like my angels and guides are like here. So it's sort of like very strong vibe that, you have a lot of angels and guides around you as well, okay? So you have a lot of light to offer. So don't let that go. Don't let anybody drag you down. Don't let that go to waste. Just remember that you're blessed, and be grateful. And I feel like I used to hate it, and I still do sometimes, when somebody tells me to be grateful, because I feel like in my mind, I am. In my mind, I am. I don't have ingratitude for anything, But at the same time, voicing it is super important. For whatever reason, it's sort of like you may love someone, right? But never tell them you love them. And just voicing it and telling them you love them is super important. So it's just a completely different feeling, and it's helpful for them. And so it's almost like voicing your gratitude to the world helps you in a way, because um, it's almost like it solidifies it. It sets it in stone, you know? It's sort of like you let the universe know, and the universe goes, oh, okay, I get it, you know? Thank you, you know? Rather than you just thinking it in your head and keeping it to yourself. Um, so I used to be like that as a kid too. Like, I used to keep everything in my head, and I knew all the answers in my head. All the answers were correct in my head. I just knew it. But then, for whatever reason, translating onto paper was very difficult. So, some of you may be writers. I feel like some of you are writers, and some of you may be do a lot with marine biology or marine life, or just you know, you may work with animals. Some of you may be also like astrologers, you know, another YouTuber, you know, you're an astrologer and you just have a lot of light, and, you know, that's what you do, and you maybe focus on the planets and the stars and the heavens and everything. So, so anyways, I think we all can share our gratitude with the world and with others and voice it, and I think that's important. And tell, obviously, also, because I did mention it, tell the people that you love them. It's important that you do that. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's coming up for me right now in your reading, so it's coming to mind. So I guess it's important for me to say it. So, and for you to say it too. So, you have the Seven of Cups in the recent past, and some of you have moved or have planned a trip, or maybe you were traveling. This is also wanting to move, thinking about moving. It also can be buying or selling house. You know, this can also, I've been thinking of it also as being flipping houses. Flipping houses is coming to me a lot. So for some of you, maybe flipping houses. You're buying and selling houses, working on property, planning projects. This is the planner, this is the project person. I think of Libras as like natural interior decorators, or natural like design people, because they have the attention to detail that's needed. And they have that sort of, it's like a soft, graceful, they have grace, and they have an eye for beauty and for art. And so when they see things and when they design things, it just has a very soft, graceful, natural appeal, like from an artistic perspective. They just have an eye for it. So for those of you who do that, I think it's a really great thing that you do that, because I think you have the skills and abilities to be very successful in it. And also, the star card is the star, okay? It is somebody who's very well known. It can be somebody who's famous. It can be somebody who is in the public eye. You know, I have several people like in my mind that, you know, on TV that are coming to mind that are Libras, that do kind of like, you know, remodel houses, and they do interior design work and things like that. So message me if that's something that you do. I'm very interested to hear about it. So I have that. And so the last card, I mean, it's sort of like I'm going all over here, but the last card is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is a card about being a little bit Miss Lonely Hearts, okay? It's a card about feeling like, when am I going to meet Mr. Right? When is my ship going to come in? Feeling quite heartbroken for a reason. And most likely, you know, and this is loneliness as well, sadness and loneliness. So for those of you who are single, you may be just really looking for a partner. You know, you may be just kind of lonely and just wondering, when am I going to find love? You know, it's hard for Libras, because Libras are so focused on other people and so focused on partnership that, you know, they give themselves like a day to be single, and they have a nervous breakdown, you know. If you're in any kind of relationship with someone, again, who's a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, I feel like it's very tumultuous. I don't necessarily feel like it's good for you. I feel like it's bringing you down, and we don't want that, okay? We want something that lifts you up. And you have things kind of imbalanced here in your spread. You have the Star card as the foundation, and you have the Five of Pentacles as what's crowning you. The Five of Pentacles is actually really a low point, and the Star is actually really a high point. So it's like this. It's like, it needs to be like this, okay? So you need to kind of get back back on your A game. I feel like maybe in the past you were on a high, but now you're on a low. Some of you may have some serious blood pressure issues, heart issues. Some of you may have some blood sugar issues. Some of you may be like on the cusp of being type 2 diabetes. Some of you may have diabetes. Some of you may be very manic depressive. There's these things, anything that's high-low is really coming up here for you. So there's several things that you can do to manage blood sugar. There's two things that I really have been into. One, and I've researched a lot. One is cinnamon bark, okay, which is, you can get cinnamon bark capsules. It's just cinnamon extract, okay? And cinnamon's been known to manage blood sugar. Also, bitter melon is really awesome too. That's bitter melon is a food. It's very, very popular in Indian cooking. But you can get the capsules, and it's really awesome stuff. Really, really cool. So you might want to check those two things out. I feel like overall you need to have more courage, and you also need to take some time to, at the end of October, take some time to be reflective. And I feel like you are going to move away from any kind of troubling kind of emotions, or moving away from any kind of troubling times, okay? So some of you are kind of been in hardship, and you're about to come out of hardship, okay? November, I feel like it's going to be a great month for you, because I feel like you're gonna move past some of this stuff that's been going on. Like I said, if you're in an unhealthy relationship where there's a lot of arguing and stress and fighting, and it's just kind of crazy, you need to break out of that, okay? And I feel like your freedom is really calling you. To me, the Nine of Cups is definitely the free guy, the single guy, okay? It's not always a bad dude, but it's a single guy. It can be also, for single ladies, you just need to be single. You need to be in a single place, without worrying too much about any kind of, relationship for a little while, okay? And then for those of you who have been single for some time, you need to get back out there and really start looking, because you got this Knight of Wands, and to me this is, keeping your eye on the prize. This is looking around. This is somebody who does have a wandering eye as well. So I feel like some of you are kind of entangled with somebody who's could be cheating going on, or somebody who's just playing around. It may not be like they have a wife or a girlfriend, but they're like doubled or tripled up with other people. They're sleeping around. So you gotta watch out for that. I don't want you to get taken for a ride, because you might be getting taken for a ride at the end of October, and you really want to look out for that. But for the most part, I think everybody's going to, and you need to shine your light. But I feel like you're going to move into a better place, whether it's a physical place, whether it's a physical residence, or whether it's moving into a better place in your life. It's very positive. So, so that's all I see for you guys. Thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, and Google Plusing and all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. And I'm just going to send you big hugs like I usually do, and I wish you all the best. So, big hugs, big kisses. And I will be back again in November for your November 2015 horoscopes. Talk to you soon. Okay, take care.